Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brandon here, just coming at you guys another video. I am sorry for not uploading on time like I normally would yesterday. I had some personal issues going on with the family. Um, Basically just making sure making sure my girlfriend's okay. Um, she was sick, but she's better now. For those who care, um, I'm still going to be streaming tomorrow and Saturday, right around probably 6 or 7. I'm probably going to say 6:30 because I still need to go get the camera and get that all equipped. I'm going to try to get that tomorrow. Try. If I'm late to my time, that's why. It's getting that camera situation taken care of so you guys can stream with seeing me react to things. And that'd be really cool on my side to be able to do that for you guys because I'd love to do that. Um, Basically, this video is going to be an update to what's going on top of a story for you guys. I'm going to start trying to do stories. I'm not trying to steal Blasphemous HD's thing or other people's things. This is strictly just stuff I'm trying to upload, some things I think you might guys enjoy. So, on my own choice, I'm going to upload a story of, let's see, dumbest thing I've ever done. Best topic I could bring up in the first story. But, the story is very dumb. I mean, probably the single-handed, just the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. Basically, probably I think it's like, 3 years ago, I was hanging out with my dad. He was getting the lease done on a big car garage thing where you store stuff. And he was talking to the owner of the place, getting that situated. Me, I was active. I was playing football. I was always working out, so I figured, do some laps around this place. Let's run. So I was jogging, running around. My dad thought I was dumb because I kept running around the place, but I had a lot of energy. I was listening to music, having some fun. So I ended up running around, and I'm a natural blonde. To those who know what I mean by blonde moment, it is not just because, you just slipped your mind, you just did something really stupid. No, a real blonde moment to me is when you do something so idiotic that it just doesn't make sense when you say it out loud. This is what I mean. I was running, and there was a Corvette that was on the street, the actual highway that this place was adjacent to, that was going slow enough that I felt like I was keeping in pace with. So I was like, well, maybe if I run faster, I can outrun the car that's in the highway. For some reason, I thought it was a smart idea. So not even 2 seconds into this run, I trip in a pothole, and no joke, I slid for a good 10 feet total of this trip. I hit about a good 3 or 4 feet on this arm. I flipped, hit my hand on this, I have a scar right there. I got my side, and I got right here in my hands. Scarred. I mean, 2 seconds of me trying to be just idiotic caused me to have a permanent scar on my body. And it's really dumb because I thought I could outrun a car that wasn't even coming at me. It was just in the street across from me going slow. I thought I could outrun it, thinking I was the hot shit. So, yeah, and then next thing you know, I'm like getting up. I'm not even crying. It's just kind of like, damn, that was dumb. So I walked back to my dad, and he had just thankfully finished the lease waiting on me. And I walk up, and my entire arm is drenched and dripping in blood, and my hands are red. And my dad looks at me, and he's like, you are dumb. Like, oh, there is not even a word to name you of how dumb you are. So, yeah, we get into my dad's truck, and we're heading to my grandmother's, because that's where I was for the weekends, hanging out with my dad's. And he gives me an old red rag, a dirty red rag. When I say dirty, I don't mean it just had some black spots on it. I mean literally this rag was red because it was covered in transmission fluid. The original color of the rag was white. It was pure red and had black spots, and it was old and old and old, falling apart. And he said, I don't want you dripping blood in my truck, so wrap this up and put this white shirt on top of it to tie it. So I'm holding this grossly just tore up arm in my dad's Dodge, and we get to my grandmother's, and she looks at me and she's like, what the hell happened? And my dad didn't even know what happened, and I literally told her that I thought I could outrun a car. And she thought I meant like running out the traffic and getting hit by a car. And I said, no, that was in the lot, and yeah, I said before. And after I told her the story, she looked at me and just grabbed her slipper and said, you don't even deserve to get hit by this damn thing because it just make you dumber. Like, what the hell? What made you think you could outrun the car that's across the street from you? Like, that makes no sense. So, I'm embarrassed because I don't know what to say. I am just cut up, just bleeding everywhere. So then my grandmother pulls me to the bathroom, starts rinsing out my arms and all that. And it was just weird because I'm sitting there and it's numb. Like, it hurts so much. My body's just ignoring the pain. It's numb and there's no feeling in my arm. Then she puts peroxide on it. And to most people, peroxide doesn't hurt. But for some ungodly reason, that peroxide felt like somebody was trying to cauterize my arm. Like, putting a fire on it, it just lit it up and my arm just started foaming and just shooting shit out. I mean, like, my arm was like a literal miniature, like, baking soda volcano out this bitch. It was just gross. I had rocks falling out of it. I had some old, oils from my skin were falling out of my arm. I had some the weirdest things falling out of my arm. So then she wrapped in some gauze and said, well, call your mom, because my mom and my dad were divorced. My parents are divorced, but at the time they had just recently got divorced. And my mom picked me up. We went back to my stepfather's, and she just looks at me and says, we're going to the doctor. So I got out of school the next day. Thank God, I say now. Because I went to the doctor, and they told me that my arm was so grossly infected that he was surprised that they didn't need to, like, do surgery. I'm not joking, I had a infection a good inch off my forearm. Which to most people, when they think of an infection, it's like a little pink spot's a little warm. For me, it was green and yellow and had some black, like, dead tissue in there and some rock still in there. And I mean, thick, fat, pus covered. I mean, gross. And I still don't know what to say about it. Because, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking when I thought I could outrun the car that's across the street. So, me thinking something like that put me completely out of commission for football for almost like a good month on just recovery for me being dumb. After I went to the doctor, they just gave me this, there's a certain gel putty stuff that they put on infections like that. They normally only do like a little bit. They gave me the entire jar and said, here, we're charging you for what we normally give you, but we're going to give you this entire jar to take home because you're going to need it. So, get home, wrap it. They told me I can't wash this arm for a day, so I can let the medicine sit in and get into my system. So I had to wrap my arm in a trash bag, take a shower. Get to school next day, I had gauze thick to knowing on this hand. I had gauze so thick on this hand that it looked like I had a cast on one side, one part, like just midway up to here, just covered in gauze. And then I get home that night after people poking fun of me for having a giant white forearm that when you poke it, it squishes. It makes a gross, like, weird squishy sound when you know what I mean, when you poke something really gross and it makes like a weird, like, gooey sound and it just sounds like it's spreading out. Spread it. Yeah, I got home that night. I got in the shower. It was the first night I could take a shower with just nothing on my arm, just plain as day. I'm sitting there looking at it. It's pink and it's raw and gross. And sorry, I'm doing this on my phone, so it's like all after a little while it goes black a little. But I'm doing this over, like, I'm sitting there like rubbing it, and I'm sitting there starting to wash my hair, and I look down, and I'm seeing this little white thing that's like flicking off my elbow. And I'm like, wait, what is that? And it falls off. Me, not knowing what the hell just happened, like screamed out my mom, who was in the bedroom next to me, and she walks in, and I was like, hey mom, something just fell off my arm. And my mom looks at me, what are you talking about? So I look down and I see it about to fall into the drainage, and I grab it. I look at that thing, it is a literal piece of my joint tissue. Only reason I know this is because I look down, I could see the bone of my elbow poking out, and it was like cold, and like heat, like a cold heat to it. It burnt a little. It's gross, but I just sat there and I'm looking at my mom like, look, it came out of me. This came out of me. And my mom freaks the hell out and starts like wanting to vomit. Because my mom, she's a big titty baby and she can't deal with blood. I mean, none of that. I'll do another story on that too, of some weird shit about my mom. So then I ended up having the gauze on, but I had a lighter thread of gauze because the disinfection went down. And I ended up going to school. So that school, I had a bet that I wouldn't pull off the gauze in front of my principal because he was wondering. He kept asking me what happened. I said, you don't want to know, it's dumb. And he just kept rubbing it off, and I got bet $20 I wouldn't take it off and walk around the school that day. Again, I'm dumb. I took it off. Raw, everything, and shut there and went, so this is what happened. And I started poking at it, and remember, I'm numb. So I'm poking at it, and my friend walks up from football and doesn't notice that I'm doing this. He has dirt in his hands. He goes and grabs my elbow. Burnt to no end. Got dirt in the damn thing. So I had to go back to the doctor the next day and have them clean it out. So when they're cleaning it out, they're looking at me and they're like, wait, what's in your elbow? Because there's no joint tissue right where this should be. What's going on? They look down and I have literal pieces of sedimentary rock embedded into my joint. That's why whenever I do this, that hurt. It happened. Every so often, it will like crack and you'll feel like a rubbing of like, it feels like something like skips over my bone. There's a rock in my elbow that's always going to be there that got lodged in my joint. It doesn't hurt. I don't even feel it. Like right now, I don't feel a damn thing. It's forever in my joint because of that. There's 2 seconds of me thinking I could do something crazy and fun and just, in my mind, fun and dumb, give me a lifetime of having a rock stuck in here and scars up to no end. But yeah, that's the story, I guess. This is one of my more gross but funny stories, in my opinion. If you guys like these sorts of things and want to have more videos like this to where I'm telling y'all a story about some stuff I did, comment down below and hit the like button and let me know, alright? This is Brandon. Peace, guys.